And what is a bug bounty? The bug bounty is paying the monetary rewards to security research for a certain qualifying security bugs. So, for an example, okay, so the Google or some kind of a clients, so they approach to us and to go for an web application testing. So we have a team and we will go for an web application testing and all. Okay, the same way now, and we the company is there, so the clients will come. For an example, there is a person so having some talented person, but they don't want to do any jobs. So those persons, how we will do, how we will get beneficiary. So there is some online sites is there, and I will show you and how it works and how we are going to. Here, the simple definition of the bug bounty is: you find the bugs, and we will rate the bugs, and we will give the money. That is a simple strategy of the bugs means like just security flaws. So yesterday you see some security flaws, right? So SQL injection, cross-site scripting attack, and insecurity centralization, sensitive data exploit, like these kind of data flaws you all see, security bugs and vulnerabilities. You just find the bugs in the website and try to reach us with a submission letter, and you will get money. That is the same what here explaining. Attacker find the security bug and reported bug on example. So attacker, he has to find the bug in the web application. After finding the web application bug, and he has to report the bug to the particular company or this particular site, reputed company. So what they will do, for an example, my company is there, my company is csslabs.com. You guys are the bug bounties. So what you will do, you guys find a bug on my company website, you find the bug website, and then you report it to me, and then you reported a bug to my company. So now this is the first step is over. Second step, now I received I'm in CSS labs, I received the bug. Okay, and here I have to verify the security team trigger the bug. So once I receive the bug from the client, from unknown persons, I have to recheck whether this bug is valid or not. If it is valid, how much criticality it is, severity, okay, or else how much impact it will be creates. Based on that, the company will provide, the company pays certain amount according to its impact, certain dollars or rupees or any kind of things. So this is a simple way and the procedure of what is a bug bounty doing. The first step is the attackers wants to find the bugs. Sorry, attackers find the bug, and once find the bug, they have to report to company. The company will verify the bug whether it is valid or not. Once it is valid, they will go for an impact checking level, and then after this one, they will reveal the money. This is a simple process of a bug bounty, how it really goes. Okay, let's move on another slide. As a few questions here. What is a bug bounty? So as I said, that a clear procedure step, right? So what is a bug bounty means? You have to find the bugs and report to me, and I will verify whether it is a valid bug or not. If it is valid, I will pay some amount. So it is a fast way to improve the security publicly, and next safety, and next cost effective. Nowadays, some companies is there, okay, they will do some testing kind of things. Okay, now if any company will give a report to them, okay, they will charge some certain amount. Now as you are I'm in a startup company and I don't have that much of amount to give lakhs amounts on the security testing and all. So what I will do, as I am in a company owner, and I will just announce, like, if you guys found any bug on my company, I will give some $100. So like that publicly I will announce. So once the publicly I will announce, so there is a lot of members who sits in the to do the bug bounty. So what they will do, they will take that opportunity and they will find the bug, and they will immediately they will report to me. So that is the fastest way to improve the security publicly, and it will be like a competitive. Once I will receive once I publish in internet, so what will happen? Maximum number of people will try to penetrate into my web application. They will try to find the bugs. So once they will find, they have to report to me. So this is the process, and this is what about the bug bounty in the back end. What is the use of a bug bounty? And it is a safety and it's a cost effective, right? I already said that how much big bug you find out, I will fix my range. I will fix my range $100 to $200. That's it. If you find RC and the remote code execution in my company, in my this one also, I already fixed the rate, right? $100 to $200. I will give the $200. So like that, I can give only the certain amount of only the valid amount to that bounty. So that is a small thing on the bug bounty. And why a bug bounty? Still now we discuss about the company perspective. Now, as a bug bounty perspective, I will say, okay, for an example, I'm the person, and now I'm not a common person. I just know only some knowledge on the web application testings and all, and I don't have any job, and I'm still searching a job. This is my situation currently. Now, what will happen is, I have any skills on the web application testing, and I can able to penetrate into any web application by using the web vulnerabilities. Now, I have any skills and I don't have any job. Then what is the next step I have to do? I have to earn some money, right? So then I will go for a bug bounty. So there is a number of bug bounty platforms is there. There you can able to enroll and then start attacking. It's all illegal. No need to worry. It's not illegal. It's in a pure legal and it is an ethical hacking way. Okay. So what is the benefits from the bug bounty? To make money, to have some fun, to build a strong portfolio, to be challenged. So these four, and I will explain you the practical way how it will be looks like. To make money, you will clearly see the how much money it is there, and to make have any fun, to build a strong portfolio. Please note it on this point, portfolio, and to be challenged. See, every bug, every application doesn't have the same bugs. It will be has a different bugs will be there. Yesterday we just taught only 10 bugs. So apart from the 10 bugs, there is a multiple number of bugs which is there, which we don't know about that one. So that type of bugs also will be there, and we have to find those and we have to report. So it will be looks like a challenge. So how to do and what is the manner to do, and the next step is how to start the bug bounty. So far we get to know what is the process of bug bounty and what is a bug bounty, why we have to use the bug bounty, and how to start the bug bounty. Okay. So here in the bug bounty, practice makes a man perfect. The first one. So how you have to achieve means, uh, I said that if you have any small skills, it is fine. But if you have any small skills, when you compare to extraordinary person who have an expertise in this bounty, so who will win the race first? That expertise person only. Why? Because he has an experience in this bounty, and he will go for a fast moves. As you are in a slow learner, what you will do? You will get the bug, but that bug already reported by someone else. So what is the use of getting the bug? That's what I'm saying. As a starting level, it will be like this only. Practice, once you make the practice and once you make an exercise in the self bug bounty, so you can able to earn the money. So the one thing is practice makes a man perfect. So every day, and you have to practice on the different bug bounties. And second most important one is reading the books and proof of concepts and POC, proof of concepts. So this POC will helpful you a lot to find the bugs. For an example, I will say, yesterday you all see about SQL injection, right? So in SQL injection, what you get? Some bypass login and some codes, 1 equal to 1 or and that's it equal to. So this is a code you get. So like this, there is SQL commands of thousands payloads is there. So every time the web application, now for an example, the Java is there. I'm writing the code in Java. Later, some of the days, I will remove the Java code and I rebuild it in a PHP or else Python or any kind of code. So there, what will happen? I'm removing and re-establishing means there is some kind of environment changes is there, and completely the code is changed. If the code is changed, the bugs will also change. Some bugs. If some bugs will change, if you are using the old bugs to do this one, so what is the use of this one? So according to the environment, we have to start exports on the impact on the payloads. The best way to learn the bug bounty is there is a lot of POCs is there and available in the internet. As a best example, if you follow us in the LinkedIn or else in the Twitter, we give you some good benefits, and we will give you a good payloads over there. So those payloads are be replicas in a real world. So those kind of payloads we will upload in the LinkedIn or else Twitter or social media platforms. So if you follow us in the social media platforms, you will get to know the type of an approach, how we approach that bug, and what is the payload of that bug, and entire description you will be able to get to learn in our CSS Labs LinkedIn or else Twitter. That's what yesterday I recommended to just see the content in the LinkedIn, and if you want to like, you can like and follow those things. So learn, that is a proof of concepts is very important. And next one, require little programming knowledge. So this is a somewhat different one, and so some members will be there. They don't have they will think like, I don't have any coding language. Then can I do this kind of hacking and all? So no need to worry, right? So if you know the coding or don't know, you can able to perform that. So see, for example, SQL injection is there. SQL injection. So SQL query will be there, like select start table from Naveen and the user 123 like this. This is the command of an SQL queries. But SQL payloads, what we did, I typed any command over there. I just type the unions, right? 1 equal to 1 star. That's it. And not. By using the and not, I just created a payload and done. So is the coding is required in here? No, right? It's just simple thinking, logical has to be important to get success in the bug bounty. So this is all about the what is bug bounty, why bug bounty, and how to start a bug bounty. So as I said that there is some history on the bug bounty. So what is the history means? In the 1995, there is a world first bug bounty has been happened. So Netscapes took the initiative to offer the cash rewards for non-employees to report bugs. They launched a brand new cybersecurity concept known the bug bounty for the Netscapes Navigator 2.0 beta. So there is a company you all know at Netscapes, right? So this company, they have a website and they have a Netscape Navigator 2.0 beta application. So this application, what they will do, they released on outside and they gave a challenge to common persons. Can anyone find the bugs in my application? I will give some bounty. Bounty means amount. So that is the thing they have been said that that is the first warrant bug bounty has been kept from the Netscapes. So like that, there is a chain of things. In the 2004, Mozilla has launched. In 2010, Google has been launched. 2011, Facebook launches the bug bounty. 2013, the bug bounty flourishes in Silicon Valley. So you all know the Silicon Valley, right? It's a big organization. And 2016 to 2021, number of bug bounty programs have been started. Why I'm saying this bug bounty history means there is a concept, there is a patent one, like if you study about some news articles and all, a lady is compromised, is find out bug my Amazon AWS, and she got rewarded about some lakhs amount. And recently, the another person has been launched one more the and one more sorry for the disturbance. We were talking about bounty programs with Apple, AWS, and Microsoft. So many members are recently they have been found the bugs and they can get rewarded up to 70 lakhs, 1 crore rupee, 50 lakhs just for finding the one bug. Okay. So so far I will say that the bug bounty, and what is this bug bounty and where we have to submit it and all. This is a Facebook. What is the platforms where you will get more money means if you find a bugs in Facebook, Google, Twitter, Yahoo, PayPal, and some etc. So if you find these bugs, any bugs in the Facebook, Twitter, and Yahoo, these platforms, these social media platforms, publicly open. If you find any bug in the Facebook, Google, or Twitter, any kind of a bug, if you just report them, they will give definitely amount. The bug has to be valid. So where to submit and where you will find the bug bounty. So these are the platforms, some of the platforms well known and highly reputed platforms it is. HackerOne, Bugcrowd, Cobalt, and Senec, etc. So what is this for? I just pick the top 4. So what will happen here means it will be like an app. I will show you a demo, please. Sorry. Yes, good. So I have logged in into the bug crowd. So I think it is visible. So https://bugcrowd.com, and here it will get some register point. So you have to register. You have to log in. After login, go for any programs. So once you go for the programs, here the visible or the websites or the organization. For an example, here, Blog1. This is a company. Okay, this is the company they gave to you, publicly exposed. Now, if you find any bugs, in this domain, okay, like I said that Yahoo, Google.com or Facebook.com. So this is one kind of website, blog.com. So if you find any vulnerability in blog1, so they said that I can give $500 to $12,000 as per the vulnerability. Okay, as per the vulnerability. If you find a minimum bug, if it is valid, they will give minimum of $500. And if you go for here, this is somewhat counter security. So points to $1,650. So here, so many, it's already open. The platform is open for you. So if you have any skills of web application testing, you can find the bugs and do a research in here. You can't able to see. Narsima, can you please confirm the screen is sharing?
No, Naveen. Actually, we are able to see that PDF.
Oh, sorry. Oh. Okay. Now, Narsima, is it now?
Yes, Naveen, we can.
Yes, sorry. Guys, this is the bug crowd website, the bugcrowd.com. I have been logged in, and here are the websites. And these are all the companies which has been opened for you. So this is a block one, I said that. So as per the vulnerability, they will give $500 to $12,000. So here they already give you. Okay. So here they already gave you the number of websites. It's publicly open. So what the thing you have to do, you have to just find the bug and then report it. So how to report means very simple. Just click on this submit. If now the blog.1, I have find one vulnerability here and I open submit report. So what will happen? What type of a vulnerability I found? Just type the name and the website. So which one I have been tagged, on which target I have been tested, and category, and which type, like I said, the SQL injection or else cross-site scripting attack. So what kind of things you find it here. And next URL, target URL location, where if I click that URL, that bug has to be open. And here you want to write some scripts, like some review, what you say, what you get in this one, and some HTTP method, request, trace number, and everything. So if you have any screenshots, additional screenshots, you have to type the additional screenshot and then report vulnerability. So like this, you have to report the vulnerability. Right? So if you open here, number of the websites is already open. The one thing is you have to find the bugs and then you have to get the amount. I can say that happily our students in the Bharatiya University, they have already enrolled in this bug crowd or else Hacker1. They're happy to say that the few members from the Bharatiya University has already raised, find some bugs and reported to the Hacker1 and bug crowd. So that is a big achievement as a beginner who gains a vulnerability within a very short time of a period. And I was happy to say that some students in the Bharatiya University have achieved this kind of vulnerabilities and they have submitted the report also. And soon they will get some amount. I think in maybe next week or this week, or they will get the amount. Amount means dollars or else If they went back towards the less, they can able to get this one. Okay. So this is all about the bug cloud, and here we can able to, now for an example, now I am the CSS lab owner. Now I have a curiosity that how many bugs in my website. So here I can able to upload one more column. Here I can able to upload, and I will give the target like this CSS labs. If you find any vulnerabilities, I will reward $100 to $200 like that. Okay. So where you can from here you can able to get and go for a bounty program. So that's from my side, the bounty and introduction of a bug bounty and how to submit and where to submit. And Nasima is going to continue on the how you can able to achieve basic recurrences and the roadmap of doing the bug bounty and bounty. See guys, if you find an IP address of a web application, will also comes under the information disclosure. That is also one of the top 10 attacks. Okay, so don't neglect. If you find any small data also, you can report. Okay, sometimes you will get a bounty means amount, sometimes you will get a swag means some kind of t-shirts or some item things they will give, or they will give some points also. Okay, so but based on this one only, the number of the peoples they left their job and then they're still going for a bounty. So because they will give a number of a bounty, like $300, it's not a small amount by finding the one vulnerability. So think on this one. Narsima, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Naveen. Thank you, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, everyone. So let me share my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, Narsima, it is visible.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is visible. Thank you.
Okay. So,
yes, it is visible.
yeah. So first of all, I want to just tell you about my first bug. So actually, I am from mechanical engineering. So from my sister's support and a few other guys, I came into application security. At first, I used to buy a lot of courses. To learn about bug bounty, all this stuff. After buying that courses, I just came to know all those courses are just replicating on any other, officially made to be hacked. So after that, I have taken another bold step. Started reading the articles. Mostly bug hunters publish different kind of articles, how they were able to find bugs in real-time attack scenarios. So by reading that article, I came across this Google Doc. So I simply gave site equal to and my friend's college and and in URL ID. So when I gave this command, so it was able to filter out all those parameters. All those parameters related to college.com containing ID. So when I opened in a target, let us so let us suppose take this. So so there is nothing in this website. So I simply used this Google Doc and I was able to find the parameter ID related to that my friend's college. When I typed single quote, it simply gave me an SQL error. So I just replicated the test cases I was able to find in the document. So whenever I gave another single quote, I was able to mitigate that error. So from this, I was able to confirm that. So there is an SQL injection on this ID parameter. So I was able to exploit that SQL injection, and I was able to dump all college database, and I was able to see every student PCC CM. After that, I reported that bug to that college, but they haven't disclosed it yet. So the next today I am going to cover three topics. The first thing is recon, and the next one is about a nuclear tool, and the next thing is mapping the attack surface. So in recon. So what we are actually going to do in recon is we are going to gather as much of information that we can do related to a particular target. And nuclei tool means it is an automation tool. I will tell you about it. And mapping the attack surface. So after gathering as much of information related to a particular target, we will select out a particular target from those bunch of targets. And so we got the target. So we have a blank question. What we have to do, how we have to do. So in that case, what we have to do, how to map the attack surface. So I'm going to tell you about how to map the attack surface. So the first thing is recon. So what is actually meant by recon? So recon is actually a military word. So before attacking an enemy, what the first thing what the military will do is they will try to gather the assets related to the enemy before attacking. So they will try to gather the information, as much of information as they could, just like America dropped atom bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So before attacking on that particular two cities, what America did is they did some recon. So what the recon did do is which target we have to attack, and by attacking which target we can do more damage. In this way, the military will do. So the bug hunters will also follow the same methodology. It's the recon. So before attacking a target, so what means we have to gather as much of information as we can do related to that particular target. Maybe it's the subdomains or any kind of files or assets belonging to the company, or something like the IP addresses are belonging to the company. So recon is very important, and it allows our target to widen the scope. For suppose we got a single URL, it is abc.com. So after recon, we are going to gather as much of information. So we can from abc.com we can gather as much as thousands of domains or any kind of 1,000 URLs and in an space around 100 IP addresses. So we have this much target to exploit and to attack. So the recon is very important step in bug bounty. So why it is so important? So it increases the attack surface, and it helps to find out the developing and staging environment. So there are two types of environment. The first thing is the production environment. So where actually the work is carried out, and the next thing is developing environment. So they continuously started developing their website, and they upgrade it to the production environment. So recon will also, in some cases, will help us to gather the sensitive information related to the organization. The sensitive information related to the organization may be some kind of P1 employees' personal information, customer personal information, or any credentials, admin credentials, or any hash functions and passwords. Like this, we gather. So my recon methodology is divided into three types. And the first thing is SSD discovery. So I have to first select a target. So let us select any target from open bug bounty sources. Let us select our target as IBM.com. The first step we have to do is subdomain enumeration. So what is a subdomain? So IBM.com, it is a very big organization. So it will have multiple assets and multiple organizations. So to divide the assets and these, they will implement some kind of subdomains like IBM.com. So login.ibm.com, and another asset research.ibm.com, or something like software.ibm.com, something like cloud.ibm.com. So this is the we will try to gather as much as subdomains related to the particular organization. So from the subdomains, we have to gather the IP addresses. I will tell you how to do this. After that, we have to gather all the JS files are related to it and the Wayback URLs using different tools. And the next thing is content discovery. In content discovery, I am going to tell you about how to do content discovery and how to do directive brute forcing and how to find hidden endpoints and files. And on the next topic is search engine discovery and how to use different publicly available search engine like Google, GitHub, and showed on sinus.io. So, so the first topic is subdomain enumeration. So before attacking, so let us select our target of IBM.com. So so before going into, you have to turn on your burp suit. And so, sorry, there is a lot of traffic. We have to turn on burp suit, and we have to open our target IBM.com. So this is how actually the interface looks like. So the first thing we have to do is we have to add our target to scope. So we have to simply go and search where is that IBM.com. So it is too lengthy process. For that way, we have an script. So you can simply select the script and go to IBM.com and go to Burpsuit, sorry, and you can add our target here. So you can simply copy paste and select give our target IBM.com. So our target is added to the scope. So what we will get to is we will get the traffic related only related to IBM.com in our dashboard. So it is going to filter out everything. So what we are going to see is something related to only IBM.com. So our traffic got filtered out. So it will help us to do a lot. So there is no much noise, something like that. So the first step, very step is Google.com. So we want to gather the subdomain from the Google search engine. So you can simply give site colon IBM.com. So what will this filter will do is it will gather all the information related to the site IBM.com. So IBM.com, IBM.com, IBM.com. So let us do it. So it will eliminate all those things with www. So now we are able to gather the subdomains developer.ibm.com. So simply go right click and open it in another tool. So we got IBM.com. As our proxy is turned on, it will automatically add it to scope. So see here, developer.ibm.com. And so in this way also we can filter out the subdomains. And let us go to the next one, something like IT news. So let us open it. So this target will automatically will be added to our scope item. Oh, so here is our target. It is automatically added to our scope in this way. So by using Google search engine, in this way we can add all our targets related to IBM.com. So this is another method. This is a method, and the another method to gather subdomains is checking the certificates. So for every website, certificates are given. So in that certificates, what is the actual use of certificates? I mean to prevent phishing and website and to prevent traffic from being captured. Certificates are used by a website. So we want to check those certificates for any kind of subdomains. So crt.h, it will contain all the certificates related to every subdomain. So let us give our target IBM.com. So it gave us all the certificates. So now we want to filter out only the subdomains. So we can simply type there and output equal to JSON. So here, let us do something. Uh, what this star means? Star indicates means everything behind .ibm.com. Show all me that result. Star indicates that. So it will show us all the related and with .ibm.com. This is how the certificates contain. So it will take some time. So we got all those out. Now check for the. So we are able to find all these related to IBM.com. There are so they have indicated the certificate with common name. So they whitelisted all the subdomains related to IBM.com. Okay, then let us do it in an automation way. So let us create a folder related to IBM.com. So we have created a folder. So let us try to enter. So first thing is we have to give read and write permission. So we have given read and write permission. So we can write anything, whatever thing we can directly into that folder. So our folder is at first it is empty. So we have to gather all the subdomains. So what we have to do is we are going to use this script. What this script will do is so what this script is going to do is it is going to crawl the website crt.h the website we have previously given. So it is going to crawl that website and gather the subdomains related to our target. So for suppose take it IBM.com. So it is going to gather all the subdomains in the form of output and JSON, and it is going to start out and filter out in a queue. And what T means, T is an is what T will do is it will send an output to this domain and give another output here. So it will do the two-way thing. So let us give something. Domains. So what T will do is it will send the result to domains.com and it will give us the output here. So it will do the result output in two ways. It will send the output to domains.com and it will give the resultant output here. So let us wait. So we were able to gather all those subdomains from those certificates. So let us simply type LS. So let us check. So what T has done is it was able to send the results to the domains.txt, and it was also able to show that results in CLI. So we use T in in that way. So let us check how many subdomains we got. So we got nearly 1849. So let us clear this thing. So the next step is securitytrials.com. What it will do is securitytrials.com. It will try to crawl all those search engines and try to gather as many as subdomains it can gather. So there are different ways to gather the subdomains. So it will crawl all the search engines, Google, Bing, everything, and it will try to gather all the subdomains. So from securitytrials.com, it is just showing how many subdomains it is in and around. It is showing 60,000 subdomains related to IBM.com. So it may be some are under Cloudflare and some are thing under IBM and some are related to Akai and other software technologies. These are, so we are able to use different search engines. The first thing is we are able to search for the certificate to gather the subdomains, and we are able by Google.in we are able to gather some subdomains. And the next thing is by going for securities, we are able to gather some domains. All these are passive scanning. So we are not getting directly involved with the target. So we are not any kind of forcing the target to give out these results. So we are passively scanning. It means the results that are actually present in certificates and any websites like this. So after this, we are going to use different tools. One thing is asset finder, and other thing is subfinder and AMAS. So we have completed this one, checking the certificates and Google Document. So let us go to the tools. So the first thing is asset finder. So why I recommend asset finder is it is a very fast tool. It will try to gather subdomains as much as fast it can. So it is a passive scanning tool. So it won't directly involve with the target. That's why the output is so fast. So let us use the same command te and append it to the our target because we have already created a folder. So what te will do is it will send the result to domains.com and it will send the result to CLI mode. And what append means, don't overwrite the target. So already domains.com will contain some subdomains. So it won't overwrite them. So for that we use a subcommand called -a means append. So let us check those how many subdomains at first we have got. So in and around we have gathered 21,000 subdomains related to it. So the next thing is we are going to use a tool called subfinder. It is also just the same like, so it will also do the passive scanning without not directly involving with target. So these are the different modules we can use. For suppose, let us simply supply the domain we just want to target. So it will try to enumerate all the subdomains. I mean, different going through different search engines, Google, Bing, and security trials. What we have to do is for better output, we have to configure all those API keys. So we have to. So every website will contain an API keys. So if we are able to gather all those API keys, it will give us the most better output results. So let us wait until it comes. So we got the results. In the same way, we are going to use a T command again. So pipe we are instead and append to the target domains. So it will also going to write all those subdomains to the domains.com. So let us check how many subdomains we got. So we got in and around 59,000, in and around 60,000 subdomains. So we have to start out them. So simply type. So filter out only those unique items and append it and create any other folder, some domain. So let us check how many we got. So from those 60,000 subdomains, there are duplicates. So by using this short and filter outing those unique items, we are able to find out 37,375. So we have in the at least around 40,000 subdomains to test for. So of all these subdomains, we have to check. What are the subdomains that are actually alive? So there may be some subdomains that have been previously used but are currently removed. So for that purpose, we use a tool called HTTPX and HTTP probe. So what these tools will do? So what will these tools will do is they will crawl through the subdomains and try to find out whether this website was able to access through port 80R 443, and it will filter out all those targets. So for simply, let us give HTTP only and give me an prefer HTTPS only. So prefer HTTPS only means I want subdomains that are only accessible through port 443, and I just want to append it and live.txt. So all these subdomains we are going to gather by this method or a live subdomain. So we can use HTTPX to filter out the subdomains that are can be easily accessible through. So it will also contain different modules. So we can use the HTTPX in different ways. So follow redirect. So it will going to filter out. In some cases, a particular domain abc.ibm.com will automatically again redirect to the same target ibm.com. So what this follow redirects will do is it will filter out the target and it will remove the abc.ibm.com and it only give the target ibm.com. So it has multiple, so it will totally depend upon the target we are doing recon and all this. So it is going to take some time. So there are two many subdomains, and I have filled out with you. So it is going to crawl that every subdomain. So this subdomain we are able to access it through HTTPS. So in the same way, it is going to do for all those 37,000 subdomains. So it's going to take some time. No, it's not going to. It's going to take too much time. So for that purpose, I have gathered a few subdomains, and it will only contain 3 to 4. So let us show me an example. So let us. So in this way, it is going to crawl every subdomain and going to filter out the output. So it is going to do the same thing for all those 37,375 subdomains. So it is going to take some time. So after gathering, let us try to let us check. These are the live subdomains. So overall, from these 37,000 subdomains, we are able to gather in at least 20,000 subdomains. So what is the next step? So we have gathered all the subdomains related to the IBM.com through different ways, and we are able to gather in and around 20,000 subdomains. So the next thing is this is the first bug we are going to test for. So what is meant by subdomain takeover? So what some companies will do is they will take the services of some service providers like Azure or AWS or GitHub to serve content. So whenever they created a subdomain from the service provider, in the DNS record, the data will be like that. So it may be sub IBM.com and with the CNAME related to sub IBM.com and the service provider name. So for it, the DNS record will look like this. So for example, so the company IBM is unable to bear the cost provided by these services, and they have they have deleted these services. So they deleted this subexample.com, but they forgot to remove the CNAME related to the service provider. So whenever an attacker was able to browse this abcexample.com, it will automatically redirect to the service provider. Mostly we will get something like 404. So we can take, in that cases, we can take over the subdomain. We can simply go to, for suppose, like let us take it example of AWS. So we were able to find out IBM.com was deleted this service, but the CNAME record is still existing. So we will create an AWS account and we will try to gain these services, because actually the CNAME record is actually existing. So we can take over the subdomain. For that, we have to pay some dollars. It may be, let us take $60 will take to buy this subdomain. So by taking a 60 by paying AWS, we are able to create a subdomain with the sub.example.com. So we are able to create a subdomain. In that subdomain, we can create any kind of phishing site. We can use different tools. We can copy any site related to IBM.com, and we can post the services on the subdomain we have taken over. So in that case, we can force the customers to submit their credentials and to submit their credit card information on behalf of IBM.com. This is what actually subdomain takeover means. So for that, it is if there are 2, 3, 4 subdomains, it is very easy for us to check. So we can simply take that subdomain and we can simply take host. It is like say IBM.com, or else there is another tool called DigDNS. So whenever we give a target, let us take this target and give it here. So let us check the CNAME recorded to this IBM.com. So whenever we have simply seconded, so it is redirecting to the CNAME record of IBM login, IC, IBM cloud. So this CNAME record is actually owned by that IBM cloud. so sorry for the distance. So here the CNAME record is containing IBM login, ICE IBM cloud. So the CNAME record is actually belonging to the IBM cloud. For suppose in any kind of case, we got something like 404 not found. So we can simply go to this IBM. We can simply go to ice.ibm cloud and we can buy this subdomain. This is what actually subdomain takeover means. Okay. So so this is what actually subdomain takeover means. So for suppose we got a bunch of targets in and around 5,000 or subdomains. We want to check those subdomains for a subdomain takeover. For this purpose, we use different tools called subject or subover. So let us go and check that manually. Subject -help. So it is so it is asking for the domain, and so we have a bunch of subdomains, so we want to check them manually. So subject, and let us supply the file. And let us print out the result of each output. So what will the subject do is it will check every subdomain CNAME record, and it will do in a automation. So all these subdomains are not vulnerable. Here we have a very less subdomains. So for suppose let us take from these 37,000, we got at least in and around 20,000 subdomains. So by using subject, we can manually test all these subdomains at a time. It may be the subject or subover. My suggestion is use two different tools. Use two different tools and compare those two results and check them manually. So every tool will give false positives. We have to check them manually. So the next step is we have to gather the IP addresses of all those subdomains. So for suppose let us take an example. Here we got too many subdomains. So what thing is we have to gather the IP addresses of that every subdomain. So let us we can use nmap. So sorry for that. So we can use sorry for that background. So we can use the nmap, and we can simply supply the output. So what nmap and small I capital means, it means it wants to give the so whenever we want to give a bunch of subdomains. So it will go through every subdomains, and it will try to gather the every information. So for the same purpose, I will use an automation script. So what it will do, let me show you. So, so I will use this automation script. What will this script will do is it will take each subdomain. So it will take each subdomain and oh, hey. Sorry.
Sir, your voice is breaking, sir.
Sorry, actually, I have a lot of background.
Narsimha, you can continue. There is no sound, background sound. It is very clear.
Okay, bro, no problem. So what we actually do is the automation script will take the output from the, the file we have provided, and it will use the TCP connect scan, and hyphen T4 will represent means do forcibly at as much as speed it can, and it will take those results and print out in this file based on the time and everything we have provided. So let us try to run that file. So we have to provide the file path. So let us take a hyphen p and so it will scan every target and it will give us the output. So let us take it. It's still going on. So we can do it either by this way or the bash script I actually use. I use this bash script is mainly because it will provide it is in a fast way, and it will also give the time when we have run the port scan, at what time we have run it, and what are the ports open at that time. In this way we can do. So I mostly use this bash script when I was going to scan a bunch of subdomains. So you So for this port research.ibm.com, the IP address is this, and it has only two ports open. It's port 80 and 443. So let us see and check the normal nmap command. So we are still unable to get that do it. That's why I use mostly prefer this one. So we can simply remove it. So let us wait for the result. So what we can get from these port scanning? So we got a bunch of subdomains. So from gathering those subdomains, we will do port scan. So we can find out so what the actual ports are opened on those particular subdomains, and we can gather the IP address, and we can gather the service version running on each port. For suppose, let us take there is an my SSL port open, and it is running any vulnerable version. So we can simply set the exploits related to that vulnerable version, and we can try to exploit that SSL port. It may be the user enumeration or something like that. We can use those port versions. We have grabbed by doing port scan. We can use that in different ways. So we can search for any exploits present on that particular versions. Like that, we can do many things. So port scan is also one of the important step in recon. So here we were able to find it is using port 21 and it is using FTP services. So let us go to the further step. Wait for the next thing. Here I have provided that bash script link. So let's see. So for this developer.ibm.com, we are able to find these ports. So in many cases, we may get the same IP addresses. What the same IP addresses mean? So from this, we can get on this particular server, they have hosted the two or three subdomains. They have hosted the same subdomains on the same server. So we can do information gathering in that way also. In that way also. So we can simply keep ls. So the port scan output is result is here, and it has done the port scan at 420 and 4. So let us try to grab the IP addresses from that. So we are going to pipe the result to so we are going to pipe result and grep for. So we have used grep for. So it is going to grep everything from that. And AWK is a command that is actually used to run a small files. So what this $6 means, it is going to grep and print out every 6th column. So the first one is a nmap, and the second scan, and third, fourth, fifth, and the 6th one is the IP addresses. So it is going to grep that IP addresses, and it is by using this TE command, it is going to send the result to IP.txt and going to send the results in the CLI mode. So we were able to gather 3 IP addresses. So we can take these IP addresses and we can do scanning. It may be by using NASS, or maybe the open VS, or if we are able to get the commercial version, you can use Accountage. So this is a step. So this is a step, and the next step in recon, what we are going to do is we are going to gather the JS file information. So what is actually meant by the JS? So what JavaScript has become, it is the most commonly used technique in modern day web browser. I mean, they supply dynamic content to the web pages. So with the increase in functionality of the dynamic content, and there is also scope of increasing in the attack surface. So what we have to do is we have to gather all those JS files related to a particular domain, and we can manually check them, check whether they are containing any kind of sensitive information, like any sensitive URL endpoints, or any sensitive things like secret keys or AWS secret keys and password. Recently, we were able to, one of my colleagues was able to read a JS file, and he was able to take the secret AWS secret keys, and we were able to take their whole AWS account. So checking static analysis of JavaScript files also is very important in the reconning. So for that purpose, we are going to use 2 different tools called Wayback URLs. The first thing is Wayback URLs. So what these Wayback URLs do is it will crawl, it will take every domain, and it will fetch all those Wayback URLs related to a particular domain from the Wayback machine. So what this Wayback machine means, for suppose, let us take an example. So you have implemented a website in the year 2010. So you have implemented a website in 2010. So till now you have started developing the website from 2000. So someone raised their hand. What is the?
Yes, Vinod Kumar, you raised the hand. What's your query, please? Yeah, okay, Narasimha, can continue.
So what this Wayback Machine do is it will take the data, all the data related to that website, and it will store. Let us take an example. What we can do actually. So what will this do is the Wayback URLs will gather all those URLs from that Wayback Machine. For suppose you have implemented a JS file related to 2011 or something else that is actually contains some secret keys or something like that. So we were able to gather and the JS file is still active in 2020. So we were able to get the JS file as it hasn't been removed, and we were able to stop dump the secret credentials from the JS file. In this way, this tool going to use. So apart from this, there is another tool called gather URLs. So it will also do the same thing. So it will fetch all the URLs from Open Threat Exchange and the Wayback Machine, and by doing from and crawl. So let us go and try to gather all those things. So we have some subdomains. So let us pipe it and send the target to Wayback URL. And then pipe it again and grab all those JS files. So this command will going to what will it will do is cat file will go and read this command and every domain and supply that domain to Wayback URLs, and after that we are going to grep I mean from those all URLs we are going to grep only JS files. So when we have click on enter, it will do its work. Let's wait. So it was able to grab all those JS files. So let us save those JS files. Let us simply supply the command and give the p and send it to JS files. .txt. So for suppose, let us take some. I have downloaded an JS files. JS files. So this is an JS file. So I am going to read this JS file, and so for that I am going to use a simple command. So what this will do is so it is going to read this JS file and it is going to grep. So hyphen votes and image to I mean not to disclose the errors. So it is from it will do all those. It will read the JS file and it will try to gather all these endpoints. So we were able to gather many endpoints related to all these subdomains. So in this way, we sometimes we may get something like secret keys and something like. Let me show an example. So So from this JS file, he was able to extract a sanitary IO token. From that, he was able to exploit some things further. So for that he was awarded $100. So there is an information disclosure bug. So a sanitary IGO token is the exposed and DNS and application ID are exposed in that JS file. So it is very important for us to read every JS file. So here also we can read by using JS beautifier, we can also read it. So let us take this JS file, copy the link. So that the JS file is currently inactive. So in this way, we have to read every JS file. So we have to try to extract any kind of sensitive information. If you are able to extract any kind of sensitive information, just like same like this, we can disclose it. Sometimes in some cases we may get bounty, or in some cases we may not get. So this is all related to JS file. So after that JS file, we are going to use this simple command, and this is a secret token. So actually that is going to use in multiple ways. So how I got this secret token? So there is an key hacks. So streak.key hacks. So this repository contains multiple things. So this repository will contain, if you are able to get an API key, so how we can use it? For suppose you got an AWS API key, so how you can use it? So they gave us everything in detail. So from this I was able to get that command. So the next thing is, so in this way, we have to gather all those JS files from this gather URLs and Wayback URLs, and we have to save those JS files. From those JS files, we have to shortlist unique ones. From that, we have to identify that the JS files that are actually still active, and then we have to do every JS file manually and try to study the static code, or we can try to extract any kind of sensitive information from this JS file. So the next discovery. So the next thing is, we up to now we have completed SS discovery. So we have to in SS discovery we are able to gather the subdomains, and from the subdomains we have searched for the bug called subdomain takeover. From that we are able to gather those IP addresses. From those IP addresses we are able to find out what kind of ports are open, and what are the versions software versions running on those ports. And after that we are able to gather all those URLs. From that we are able to gather JS files, and we have to check those JS files for any kind of sensitive information, like any sensitive URL endpoint or secret keys or any kind of password, something like that. So the next one is content discovery. So what actually means content discovery? Means every web application may contain some kind of hidden endpoints. So let us take admin as an hidden endpoint. So it is normally prevented from accessing through public network. So what we do is, in content discovery, we try to brute force that. So we simply try to brute force that, and we are able to try to access those hidden files. Apart from admin, there may be some kind of hidden files, something like config or something like HTTP accesses, something like that. So so we have to brute force all those kinds of sensitive files that are actually hidden. So for that purpose, we are going to use a different tools file found directory search. So so what actually means, so from that also we can also search for. So let us take cat. And we can send it to a tool called cat button, and then so what will it do is, the cat command will read every domain, and it will supply a tool called Aquaton. What will Aquaton will do is, it will try to take the screenshot of every domain. So for suppose we have in and around 5,000 subdomains, we can't do manually go and take how the web interface is looking and how it is actually looking. For that purpose, we use a tool called Acroton. It will crawl to every subdomain and will take a screenshot of it. So for that purpose, we have to give the path of that browser to actually take screenshot. So Acroton will support Chromium browser. So the path, this is the path of the Chromium browser where it is actually present. When we have entered, it will automatically take something default. So it will take 480 and 4443 and 8000 and 80. So it will try to take the screenshot of everything. So let us wait for the result. So it has took the result and saved everything in Acroton report.html. Let's go there and check that. Oh, this is here. So let us check the Acroton report. So this is how it will check. It will check every. It will go to the every subdomain and take a screenshot of it. So when we have viewed the details, this is all those are response headers that are actually used by that server, and this is how IBM Cloud. So it was able to take the screenshot. So in what case we can use this tool? When there are multiple subdomains, I mean there are more subdomains. In that case, we can use this tool. So it will crawl to the web application and take the screenshot of it. So we can simply take a look at it. In some cases, when we are checking the screenshot, we may find that ports like 401. There may be in some cases we may get 404. Page was not found. In that case, also we can try to check manually for subdomain takeover. So this is how we are going to use tool Acroton. And so the next step is we have to find the assets. So for that purpose, we are going to use two different tools for fund directory research. So what it will do is it will take the domain from the domain folder. So domain and so what this command will do is it will take the domain. So we have found a few subdomains that are actually alive. So it will take those domains and we try to brute force this endpoint from taking the wall list from dir. So I have my own wall list. So these are the list of wall list that is going to brute force at at the endpoint dir. So it is going to fuzz this endpoint, and it means try to brute force this endpoint. So how I created this word list? So while doing pen testing, I have found many kind of interesting pages. So I kept one word list as a base, and I was able to create many word lists. So for whenever I want to brute force any endpoint, I'm going to simply use this for a directly brute forcing. And also whenever I came across an article, if I found anything special word list, I'm going to add. This way we can improve. So you can simply press on enter. So it is going to fuzz every endpoint, and let us wait for that. So it is going to fuzz every endpoint, and it is going to save the result as a HTML in the folder path. So wait for the output. So it has completed its task. Let us check it manually. So let us click on it and directly open it in the browser. So this is an case. So we got 200 status error okay for this endpoint, and 200 okay for this admin endpoint. Like this we can do. So there are some pages that are actually forbidden to access, like index.admin, admin. So something like 403. So it will prevent. So there is git clock, so we are unable to find. So let us give me an example. So from this, uh, from this we got an folder that is actually 403 forbidden. So the folder admin is 403. It is 403. So the folder is forbidden. So if you are going to first this endpoint, some cases. So if you, in some cases, if you are going to first this endpoint, so you start in the same way as we previously did. We try to directly brute force this endpoint. In some cases we may get 200. Okay. So in some cases we may get 200. Okay. So what is actually means? So we were able to bypass the authentication mechanism. So we were able to access the restricted pages after 403. So in this way also content discovery will be very useful. For this purpose, we use different tools. One thing is pop and direct research. I recommend these tools because these tools are very fast and they have then more area, and we can get the results in different formats, and these tools are very fast and we can configure the tools in different ways and in different methods. That's why I mostly recommend these tools. The next thing is search engine discovery. So how actually we are going to use this search engines. So previously I have told you how to use Google Docking. So simply ibm.com. So it will simply give out the result. After that, we are going to view. Let us try to find something like admin. So it is going to get all the results where there is a containing admin. In the same way, let us try to gather something like a dashboard. So it will get us all those results that are actually not commonly accessible through normal browsing. So let us simply open it. So something like a dashboard.management. So let us check how they actually look like. Oh, it is some kind of document related to. So it's not something in the IBM dashboard. So it is a document. Okay. Something. Let us check. Kind of dashboard. So it is just an interface on mean. They are just giving out. In some cases, we may get something like this. So all the dashboard results like this. That's why Google Docking is also very important. In overall something like remove the dashboard, something like password. Something. So reset password map. We will get some set results like this. Let me give you an example. So these are the common tricks we are going to actually use. So these are some common Google Docking techniques. So we are going to gather the bucket name. So we can try to gather AWS secret keys, and we can try to gather S3 bucket details that are actually present in the Google search engine. In the same way, we can use this Google Doc to gather company details in CodePad.io, something like npm.js, and something any related to the paste bin. So we can use this doc, and we can use this simple doc to gather information related to the GitLab related to this particular domain. So we can use Google Docking method in different ways to gather the information. So what is the use of it? Sometimes we may get some kind of hidden endpoints. So it may be something related to admin, or something sensitive to the particular organization, or something related to Jenkins, or what kind of servers they are using. In this way, we can get different things. So this is all related to Google Document. We can use it in different ways. So I simply suggest one thing called doc. So I have actually, but I will share it here. So and the next next thing is apart from GitHub. So the next step is a GitHub document. So we have to try to gather the information related to a particular domain. So in GitHub. So for example, so let us select our target IBM.com. So simply type it, search for IBM.com. So it is going to show us the result. I mean 113K and 42M and something result. So let us shortlist, and we want to search any kind of something like password. Sometimes sometimes repositories may contain sensitive information like so we got so let's check the code. So here we got something like a username and password file read secure.ibm, not genuine password. So here we have got something results like this. So here got something like a username, password, and database name. So we can also this is best match. We can go for recently indexed. I mean recently modified things. So password managers. So here we got something. See something we got password organization. Something email with grep user command is password is grep. So we can go to gmail.com and try to access this mail ID in the same way. Remove that password and try to access something like API key. Okay. So nothing. So here we got something username and what API keys, something like that. So we can visit these repositories and manually check what is actually this repository mean for. In this way, we can do many things. So apart from API, so we can try to grab something like language and is the username related things. So we are going to grab any language with an extension of PHP. So we got many stuff. So what it will do is sometimes it may disclose us some hidden endpoints with an extension PHP related to IBM.com. So we can do that. Oh, all these are related to IBM. Nothing. So what server URL? So here got something in this way we can do. So if you are able to set all these code over 165K, we may get something. So if you are in that case, we may use some kind of different tools. Something tools called GitHound and Trufflehawk. So these two will these tools are for automatic testing. So these tools will crawl through every repository related to the particular domain and try to gather anything sensitive information, something like API keys, any secret keys, or a hashed passwords, any information related to MySQL database, something like that. So the more you try to do in dark the more you can learn. So the next very thing is, so Shodan is very important. So if you are going to miss Shodan, we are going to miss a lot. So so you can simply search for IBM.com. So it is going to give us results in and around 8 to 8K. So here we can search for what the ports are opened and the organizations and the server related. But suppose you just want to filter out anything related to Apache. So it is going to filter out. So we have to log into search. So let us give an so in this way, it is going to search every domain. What actually means Shodan means it is an information gathering tool. So it will crawl every website and do behind it. So for suppose if you do Google, it will only represent something related in the front end. But what Shodan will do is it will try to grab everything in the background. It will try to grab everything in the background and try to get us the results. In this way, we can do. So, for suppose, let us take any. So, let us go to this one. We can do search everything. So, we can also gather the IP addresses. We got something 23149, and we can grab the server versions here and the organizations that are actually using this one. So they are mostly using Apache HTTPD and Nginx server. So in this way, we can gather a lot of information related to that organization IBM.com. So in this way, we can by using this organization.com, we can gather results and SSL. It means it is going to check all those SSL certificates and try to gather the information. And also we can use this dark, GitHub Shodan dark, and it will try to gather the server related to Apache and the organization related to IBM.com. So for that, if you can also try to grab any vulnerable versions of software. For suppose, let us think Apache 2.2, it may be vulnerable to some kind of attack. So you can search in Shodan Apache 2.2 and the host name is the organization you are actually attacking. In this way, you can do a lot. So you can also check the SSL certificates with the title dashboard. So we have done it previously through GitHub Dark. In this way, we can do a lot. And the next one is Sinus. So it will also do the same way related to GitHub, but .com. So it is going to show us all the results. So it is going to show us something related to autonomous service number, and there's a locations, different countries they have, and there's a services they are actually using it, and 122K HTTP and 20K Kubernetes and the open ports and their software vendors and their software product license. In this way, we can get many information. You can simply write and work with and you can get further information related to this IP addresses and what are actually they are doing on 443 and their certificate version and what they are actually doing on 8443. Sometimes these websites will also give us the false positives. In that case, we have to find out by testing them manually. I mean by using Nmap. So on the next thing is nuclei. So nuclei is a tool. So whatever we have previously done, it will do everything manually. So we have to supply a template. What actually means and template means? Template means it is the configuration. It is just like a configuration. So in that configuration, we are going to we are going to guide this tool. So we are going to guide this tool. So this is how the configuration file looks. It is just for the reference. And here, the configuration tool will do is it will just trying to use get method and supply the base URL and give out the output. So if it found to any status related to 200 or something like don't know username, it will give us that. It will give us. So it was a we can able to exploit those URL using CV 2005 and 2428. So we can give that attack as medium. So let us give it again. So let us do something like
Are you talking? We are unable to hear you actually.
yeah, ma'am. Actually, I'm talking.
Yes, ma'am. He is audible.
Actually, I'm talking.
Okay, okay.
Yep.
So we are going to supply the templates. So we can something. Going to download. So let us.
Yep. I think it's Narasimha is taking the time, right, for the nuclei.
Yeah, bro.
Yep. Okay, fine. Okay, guys. So it has been time a while, and we are going to run out of the time also. So it's better to end the session now. So if you need to extend, we can be happy to extend the time also. But as per our time, so it is going to be end now. So if anyone have any queries on the, please let me know. On the so far, I will give a glance on what we did so far, and we did some kind of security information exposing. So what are the kind of sensitive information is exposed on the outside. So how to do the reconnaissance without doing any kind of an attacks and without doing any kind of things. So, yeah, so some people already they did the exploitations and they have uploaded in the GitHub or the Google Docs. By doing the Google Docs or by doing the GitHub talking techniques and some kind of techniques what you have seen the manual and automated testers. So the main agenda was to find the flaws in a web application and to report the bug. So here, as per Narasimha has demonstrated some demo and some technique and wonderful techniques. So how we can able to exploit and how we can able to get information. Almost 10 to 15 command tools has been explained in a short of a 2 hours time. That's so nice. And the thing is, the way the output which is given you if you get an AWS key, so what you will do by AWS key? If you give a report to AWS keys, I got found the AWS key, so not no use, right? The thing is, if you find the AWS and how to utilize the AWS keys, that is an important for us thing to approach the methods and all. So guys, anyone have any queries? So let me know, or else we'll end now.
Thank you, Mr. Naveen and Mr. Narasimha, because the entire presentation was really, it is what to say, like our participants, they have gained very good knowledge on the subject, and it shows your depth of the knowledge on the subject. Really, it is amazing, Mr. Naveen and Narasimha. Thanks for your wonderful session and sparing your valuable time with us. Thank you so much. And dear participants, actually, I have hosted some questions in the Google Classroom. I've given the Google link, and what to say, like you are supposed to answer all the questions. I've given 15 questions. You are supposed to answer all the questions precisely. Write down the question. Using cam scanner, you take, scan your documents and upload it in the Google Classroom. Thank you, participants, and thank you, Mr. Narasimha and Mr. Naveen. Thank you so much. We wish to thank CSCC Labs for deputing such a wonderful and amazing resource persons to our webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.